What's up, guys? Emmanuel Jones back here with another weekly prediction. And this week time, we'll be doing our week 7 predictions. Last week I went 10-5, which I did pretty good, and overall record is 64-29. So yeah, and obviously, the Bengals, Cowboys, Jets, Panthers, and Texans, Titans. All these teams have a bye week this week. So basically, it's got a lot of teams on a bye week, so we have to try our best to do pretty good this week. So we have to try hard. I'm gonna have to try my best to at least have a good week this week and hope my record can be good this week. Because I hope I get a lot of them right because a lot of teams are on a bye this week. So before I get you started, so don't forget to put a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and don't forget to comment down your opinion below to see who you think is gonna win week 7. So let's get things started. Well, actually, I chose the Saints to win 24-23, and they lost 31-24. So we're gonna get things started here. All right, so first game we have is the Las Vegas Raiders versus Chicago Bears. Raiders are -2.5. I obviously call this a trap game for a second because both backup quarterbacks are playing against each other. Because we know that Fields is ruled out for the game and Jimmy G's ruled out for the game. So I just kind of feel like this game is probably gonna be crazy and ugly game. Now, I understand that the Bears defense kind of played okay against the Vikings, but, they've been bad against the run, but they weren't that bad against the pass against the Vikings. I mean, their pass defense is playing all right, you say, but the defense, the Bears defense isn't great, but the Raiders defense, has been really playing really well so far. I mean, this defense is doing a good job stopping the run. Their secondary is playing good. They're not giving up big plays. I just like how this offense is, and the offense, is starting to get better, though. So, yeah. So I feel like this game will be a low-scoring game, a little bit. I don't really know because I don't have a lot of faith in the Bears' defense. I just think that Josh Jacobs is gonna have a nice game. I think Devontae Adams is gonna have a nice game. I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna. He's gonna have a good game, and so is Josh Jacobs, and all that. I think the Raiders' offense can win this game. I think their defense can definitely win this game as well. So basically, even though the game's in Chicago, I'm taking the Raiders to win this game. And the reason why I'm taking the Raiders to win this game is because the Raiders, they're just a more complete team and have the better coaching staff. And also, they're that's about it though. So, yeah, so I'm going to take the Raiders both ways in this game. I take the Raiders to win and cover this game. I'm probably going to say like 24-17, something like that. So, yeah. So, give me the Raiders to win and give me the Raiders to cover. All right, next game, we have the Cleveland Browns versus the Indianapolis Colts. The Browns are favored by -3.5. I call this a trap game for some reason because we don't really know if Watson's going to play in this game. So we don't really know because he's been practicing all week. So now the news saying that he's expected to play. But you know what? I know the game's in Indy and they're at home in the game's in Indianapolis. And we know the Colts have been playing really good football so far and staying competitive in some games. But I kind of like the Browns to win this game. I just think they're a more complete team. They have a better quarterback and have a better coaching staff. And I just think they have the better defense as well. So, yeah. I just think that, even though the Colts defense is playing really good, I think the Browns, are going to be able to run the ball. Especially the Colts don't have Grover Stewart, their best defensive tackle in this game, where I think it's going to open up a lot of room for the Browns to run the ball. I think they can pass the ball in the Colts because I think the Colts secondary is a little bit shaky. Even though they're playing really well, I just kind of really feel like that the Browns are going to pass on them. I think it's going to open up open up some play action creativities. Watson's gonna at least make some big time throws, whereas their old line is gonna give a lot of time. And I think they'll find a way to at least like control the Colts pass rush. And I think the Browns. I don't think the Colts have a good offensive line. I think the Browns' defensive line can take advantage of that because the Browns have been really good at stopping the run so far, and they don't really allow you to run them over, and they're tough to run on. And I think their secondary. They have the pass rush. To get after Gardner Minshew. They have the secondary, like the corners, to cover the Colts receivers, which is going to allow Gardner Minshew, to have no time, force him to run around and force him to beat you. Like, he probably won't do it. So, yeah, I like the Browns receivers more. I think the Browns win this game because, they're just more talented. They have the better defense. So, yeah, I think Jim Schwartz is going to do a good job, like shutting down the Colts offense and all that. So, yeah. I think they're going to keep this game a lot closer and more competitive, though. But I'm going to take the Browns to win straight up. I'll take them to cover, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I'll probably just go ahead and just take them to cover as well. I'm going to say like the Browns win like 24-20, something like that. Or maybe like I'm going to say like 24-20 or maybe like 20-17. I think they keep this game close a little bit. I might take any to cover, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just say the Browns are going to – I'll just take them both ways. I'll just take them to win and cover. All right. Next game, we have the Buffalo Bills versus New England Patriots. Buffalo is favored by 8. I think the number changed to 7. I don't know why the spread is changing. Okay, so they're favored by 7.5. And, I got the Bills win this game. I mean, the Bills, they're the more complete team. They have more ways to win, better quarterback. And I kind of feel like Sean McDermott has kind of owned the Patriots a little since Tom Brady was gone. Like, the Patriots have not proven to me they can beat the Bills. Like, I just don't really think the Patriots, especially the Patriots, I don't really know they're going to keep this game a lot close because the Patriots are dealing with some injuries on defense. Because we know Uche is out. We don't know if Keon White's going to play. He could be out. Barmore's questionable. Duggar's questionable. I mean, so their defense is a little banged up with some injuries, though. Their O-line isn't great. I mean, the receivers are not great for the Patriots. But you know what? The Bills, even though without Travis White, their secondary just doesn't really play as well. But I think the Bills defense can find a way to win this game. I think they're going to rattle Mac Jones in this game. And offensively, they're going to move the ball on them a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, if the Bills get up early, they could definitely blow the Patriots out. But I don't know. But I'm just going to say the Bills are probably going to win by, like, double digits a little bit. I'm probably going to say at 27-20, like 17, something like that. So, yeah. And by the way, the Bills, I thought they looked pretty poor against the Giants until they ended up stealing the win, which means they almost lost to the Giants, though, because, the Bills couldn't move the ball, and especially until the third quarter they start scoring, and then they missed a couple field goals, and they would have at least scored like 20 points. I think this is a game that the Bills score at least like 20-something points. I wouldn't be shocked if they scored 30. So, yeah, I think Josh Allen's going to play better in this game because he played, like, really poor last week because, he only had 169 yards. And their defense kind of looked pretty atrocious. Like, they couldn't stop the pass. They nearly couldn't stop the run. I think they're going to do a good job in this game because, Patriots, they can't really run the ball that really good. I think the Bills' defense can take care of business, and all that. So, yeah. So, I got the Bills both ways. I got the Bills to win and the Bills to cover. Next game, we have the Washington Commanders versus New York Giants. Commanders are favored by -3. I call it a trap game because one person picked the Giants to win this game because they kind of felt the Giants need to win. But Daniel Jones might not play this game. He could be out. But and I know the game's in New York, but I'm picking the Commanders though. Like straight up, I'm picking the Commanders. And the reason why I'm picking the Commanders because they have more to play for because they're in the rise of making the playoffs, and the Giants, they're looking towards not making the playoffs and all that. The Giants, I don't trust the Giants right now. The Giants are just a bad team. They can't find ways to win. They're heading in the wrong direction. Offensively they're really bad. And defensively they've been a little bit up and down, but I don't think they've been great though. But they kind of played really good against the Bills, I say. And when we understand Washington's defense have not been playing really well, because they let up 300 yards to Desmond Ridder though, and they still won the game. But the run defense is playing okay though. But I think that the Giants, we understand that they really can't block. And I think Washington's defensive line is gonna dominate this game. So I think their pass rush is gonna give the Giants offense issues. So I believe Tyler Taylor is gonna start again. So I think Sam Howell, he's gonna do enough to move the ball, especially against a Giants defense that hasn't been really good. So I think he might make some big time plays. So yeah. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and just take the Commanders to win this game. But I'll take them to cover. You know what? I might take the 3. I'll take them plus the 3. I'll go with the points with the Giants. I think the Giants do cover this game because they covered the game last week against the Bills. So I think the Giants are going to cover this game here to keep it close. So maybe I say Washington wins I'm going to go with 17 to 16, something like that. Or maybe I'll go 24 to 16. Or 24 to 23 or 23 to 17, something like that. So yeah, I'm probably gonna take Washington both ways, but I'm gonna take the Giants to cover, but the Commanders to win the game. All right, next game we have the Atlanta Falcons versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are favored by 2.5. Obviously, this is a game that can definitely go either way a little bit. Now, some people might pick Atlanta to win because Atlanta, can run the ball better, which I understand that. Atlanta, they have been very impressive. They've been under the radar. I like how the way their defense has been playing. Their defense has been playing really good, especially in the secondaries, and especially up front. But Ritter's been playing amazing. Defense has been giving 300 yards to Ritter and all that, and Ritter's been playing really good. Especially offensively, they're getting a lot better in the passing game, and they're starting to run the ball really good. Same thing with the Bucs. The Bucs, they looked at pretty poor against the Lions. You can understand. You could say their defense played okay a little bit, but it didn't play really great because the Lions, they were really the Lions been really moving the ball on teams. They've been doing that, and their defense been not giving up big plays on them. And the Bucs, their pass defense didn't play as good last year because they allowed a 353 yards to Jared Goff and all that. So yeah, Tampa Bay's defense, you can say that they can stop the run really good. They can stop the pass, but Todd Bowles has been really amazing. So I think the Bucs, they have the corners to match up with the Falcons receivers. And especially it's a bad matchup for Atlanta too as well. Especially their defense, they have the pass rush, to get after Ritter and all that. And I just kind of really feel like that the Bucs are gonna crowd the box when they play the run. And I feel like that, offensively, they're gonna they're gonna move the ball. I think they're gonna pass the ball, but I don't think they'll run the ball good enough because I think Atlanta can run the ball better than them. because I think the Bucks, are just like, I just have a feeling that the Bucks, feel like Baker Mayfield is probably gonna have a show here in this game. So I'm gonna lead towards Tampa to at least get back on track this week and bounce back because they're at home, they have the better quarterback. And I just kind of really feel that the Bucks, even though the Falcons, even with Tom Brady, they played the Bucks really well. But I think they will keep it close in this game. But I just don't. I just kind of really feel like that the Bucks, defense is gonna like get in coverage and force Ritter to beat them and all that. But I don't think it's gonna happen. But I think the Bucks are gonna find a way to win this game. But I'll probably take Atlanta with the points because I think Atlanta's gonna do enough to cover here to keep it close. So basically, I'm probably gonna say like I'm gonna go with maybe 27-20, something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Falcons with the points, but I'll take the Bucks to win the game. All right, next game we have the Detroit Lions versus the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are favored by -3. Obviously, this is a game that can definitely go either way, but obviously, it's kind of tough to say who's gonna win because here's the thing: because the Lions are pretty much underrated, and they've been playing their best ball for weeks. Like, I just like how the way they're doing offensively. Ben Johnson's been like the best offensive coordinator so far. They're moving the ball offensively. They're starting to run the ball, and they can pass the ball really good. And Jared Goff is just playing really well. The old line is really good, and the defense is just playing. The defense is just playing really good. They're starting to play at a high level, and they're not giving up big plays. Especially their secondary is playing good because they're not giving up big plays, and they can stop the run really good and all that because they don't really allow you to run them over, and so yeah. While the Ravens, they're starting to get better each week, but Lamar, Lamar Jackson is just, the Ravens, kind of had a good game against the Titans. Offensively, they've been starting to move the ball. Defensively, they're playing okay as well. But I think it could be a go either way game. But I think it could be high scoring because I think the Ravens' offense is really good at moving the ball. Even early in the first quarter, like the Ravens, like here's the thing: when they play when they play good teams, they'll just blow them out in the first half, and all of a sudden they just blow the game in the second half to give the other team the win. That's how the Ravens do. But I don't know if it's gonna happen here because I kind of really feel that the Lions, are gonna do a good job. Like defensively, they're gonna do a good job. Like stopping the run because we know the Ravens don't have a run game, and the Lions do. And I felt the Lions can run the ball better than them because I think they're gonna stay in the game and all that. So yeah, the Ravens can too because here's the thing. I think the Ravens defensive line can definitely give Jared Goff some issues here. And I think their secondary can find a way to find their matchups though. I think Humphrey and St. Brown can be a good matchup. But I think that, St. Brown had a good game last week. He only had over 100 yards, but he had 10 catches. But you can just say that he gets 10 catches and doesn't get 100 yards. That's what I'm probably going to say. Maybe he does, because I think the Ravens gonna have to find a way to at least find their matchups though. I think their defense can win their matchups, and I think Hamilton or Williams can maybe cover Sam Laporta. The Lions got some weapons on offense. The Lions, I don't really know they have a number 2 corner to cover, another receiver. So basically, I think they're probably gonna give Jared Goff a tough time in the pocket, where there's some plays he can read a defense, some plays he won't. So yeah. So I think this game should be fun to watch, but I'm leaning towards the home team, the Ravens, to win this game because they're at home, they have the better quarterback, And I just kind of really felt that, Jared Goff, he's not good outdoors, and we know, and he struggles outdoors. So yeah, but some games he doesn't, some games he does. So yeah, so I'm gonna take the Ravens to win, but give me those points with the Lions. I think the Lions are gonna keep it close. I think they're gonna stay competitive and stay in the game. I'm gonna say the Ravens win like 30-27, something like that. When maybe they win by a field goal. So yeah. So give me the Lions with the points, but give me the Ravens to win the game. All right, next game we have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the LA Rams. Rams are favored by 3.5. Obviously, this is a game that can definitely go either way. Now, I call it a trap game for some reason, but I don't know. But I'm probably gonna not. Now, one person kind of picked Pittsburgh to win because Pittsburgh, is a bad matchup for the Rams because they know that the Rams' offensive line isn't good, and Steelers' defense, they can definitely give the Rams' offense some issues. I can see that though. But the Steelers, they're playing against an offense that's really good, which in the Rams. But the Rams' offense, has been playing really good so far. Matthew Stafford's playing amazing. I mean, Cooper Kupp's very uncoverable, and Puka's very uncoverable, and so is Tutu Atwell. I mean, those guys are really fast, and those guys are uncoverable, and they're getting open on each play. Like, yeah, I like what the Rams are doing on offense. But I don't really know if the Steelers secondary is going to be able to slow them down, though, which I don't really know. But the thing is that we know that Pittsburgh's coming off a bye, but Pittsburgh, sometimes struggles outdoors, especially they struggle against good teams. But the Rams looking to be a good team as well. But the Steelers are kind of the same. But when I look at the Steelers, they've been looking really poor though. But the defense was playing really well. The offense is but the offense is just bad. Like I think this the Steelers O line is very atrocious, and I think Aaron Donald and this Rams defensive line can at least handle business. Maybe they can rattle Kenny Pickett, and I think Their secondary is playing really good. They're not giving up big plays, so yeah. But the game's not in Pittsburgh, but the game's in Pittsburgh. I can take the Steelers, but since this game's in LA, I'm probably gonna take the Rams to win this game because I just think the Rams, they have the better quarterback. They're at home, and I think they have better coaching as well. So yeah, you can argue saying they're a better team, but they're kind of similar to each other. So yeah, so I'm gonna take the Rams to win. I'm not too confident on the Steelers to cover, so maybe I'll probably take the Rams both ways. I'll probably take them to win and cover. But if the Rams get up early, they can blow the Steelers out. But I think they're going to keep this one a little bit close this time. But I'm going to say the Rams are going to at least win at least by I'm going to go maybe 34-16, something like that. Because Steelers, they can't really play offense though. And, they're bad in the red zone. So, yeah, that's why I'm taking the Rams both ways. I'm taking them to win and cover. All right, next game we have the Arizona Cardinals versus Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are favored by -8. I got the Seahawks in this game. I mean, the Seahawks, they're just a more complete team. They have better quarterback, better coaching. They're at home. I thought Seattle's defense played really well against the Bengals, but Geno Smith, kind of outplayed Joe Burrow, but he lost. But they still lost. Like he lost the Seahawks that game though against the Bengals because the Bengals got pressure on Geno Smith and he got a sack. That's how they blew that game. Their offense really blew that game. But I kind of really felt that they're not going to do it again against the Cardinals because the Cardinals, they stink and they're the worst team in the league. So, yeah. I mean, the Cardinals. Because, the Cardinals, that they're not as good as on paper. Now, they're not as good as the Seahawks are. So, Seahawks should easily. So, yeah. So, Seahawks, they should easily win and cover. So, yeah. I'm predicting it will be a blowout this time. I'm going to say at least like 27 to like 16, something like that. Or like 27, 13, 30, 13, something like that. I know 8's a big number, but I'm taking the Seahawks both ways. All right, next game we have the Green Bay Packers versus the Denver Broncos. Green Bay's favored by -1.5. Obviously, this can go either way. Now, I know one person picked the Broncos to win, but I don't think it's going to happen, though, because I'm taking the Packers to win. The reason why I'm taking the Packers to win this game is because I understand the game's a mile high, but I'm taking the Packers to win because I just think they're just a more talented team, better coaching. I mean, the Broncos, they just suck. Like, I don't think they're good as the Packers. Offensively, they've been looking pretty poor for the last couple of weeks. And all of a sudden, the defense, they have the worst defense. You can argue that they played really well against the Chiefs last week a little bit, but I don't think they played that great. But they literally have the worst defense in football. I think Green Bay is going to find a way to move the ball against Denver. Green Bay, they should be able to move the ball, especially against a bad defense like the Broncos. So Jordan Love is going to have success here. I'm making a bold prediction that Jordan Love's going to throw for 250 plus yards. He's going to throw for 250 plus yards in this game. I think Jordan Love's going to play better in this game. The passing games, I think they're going to play a lot better in the passing game. And I feel like with Aaron Jones coming back, I think they're going to run the ball and create play action and activity and creativity and all that. So, yeah, and especially I think their defense is going to find a way to, like, overwhelm the Broncos offense, because I think the Broncos offensive line is sketchy. Like, it's not great. And Russ, they're going to give Russell Wilson. They're really going to give this Broncos offense with Russell Wilson a lot of fits. And, because we know they have the pass rush to get after Russ. And then they have the secondary. Like, they have the corners, to match up well the Broncos receivers. Because I think the Broncos receivers are a little bit overrated. So, yeah. I'll take the Packers to win. But I'll just take them to cover as well. Like, I don't know if the game's going to be close. As long as Denver, stays in the game, it could be close. But, so, yeah. I got Green Bay both ways. I'm probably just going to go ahead and just take the Packers both ways. I'll just take them to win and take them to cover. I'm going to say like 23-17, something like that. So, yeah. So, I got Green Bay both win. I got Green Bay to win and cover. All right, next game, we have the LA Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 5.5. Obviously, this game right here can definitely go either way. Obviously, one person picked it. Some people kind of really picked the Chargers to win because they think the Chargers are going to bounce back because they don't think they're going to lose 2 in a row. But I just kind of really feel like that, it's going to be a fun game to watch. But I think the Chargers, they did not look pretty good on offense. Justin Herbert didn't play that great because he missed a lot of throws. I think it was due to his hand injury or something like that. And then Herbert, the O-line was playing okay, and then the defense was just playing okay. But I think they kind of blew this game to the Cowboys because Herbert threw that brutal pick. So, yeah. And the Chiefs, offensively, they did not play that well last week to score a lot of points because, some of the Chiefs receivers stink, especially, Mahomes, he's too focused on Taylor Swift's boyfriend and all that. So, yeah, I think the Chiefs offense is going to start playing better in this game, especially, the Chargers got one of the best safeties in the league, which is Derwin James. Maybe he can one-on-one against Travis Kelce. I don't know, because I think the Chiefs offense, they're gonna like start to go off, and like I said, Brandon Stanley make offenses look pretty good. I think the Chiefs offense is gonna move the ball against the Chargers defense, who can't really stop the run. They're gonna run the ball in this game, and the Chargers, they're gonna run the ball in this game too, and they're gonna stay in the game, and plus they're gonna pass the ball and all that. So yeah, but I think the Chiefs kind of have a better pass defense and a better run defense than the Chargers, but I could say that because the Chiefs defense is playing really well. So basically, it will be close, but I'm gonna roll with the home team, the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are just a more complete team, better quarterback, better coaching staff. They're at home, so yeah, I think Mahomes is gonna make some magic happen there. So yeah, I think the Chiefs find a way to win this game here. I think they win this game, but I'll take the Chargers with the points. I'm probably gonna say maybe 31-24, something like that, or 30-24. So yeah, so I'm just probably gonna go ahead and just take the Chargers to cover, but I'll take the Chiefs to win this game. But it's gonna be a fun game to watch though, with two good quarterbacks playing against each other. All right, next game, we got game of the week, best game of the week. We got the Miami Dolphins versus Philadelphia Eagles. Philly is favored by -3. Obviously, this is a game that can go either way. Now, most people are picking the Dolphins to win because the Dolphins got the best passing offense right now. Because their offense is playing really good, but we know they can't run the ball. And the Eagles, they're coming off a loss against the Jets. But I just kind of really feel that the Eagles, they're going to find a way, because when you look at the Eagles, the Eagles defense, is playing really good. I mean, I thought the pass defense played great against the Jets. And, their run defense played a lot good against the Jets. But it was kind of an ugly game, though, a little bit. Jalen Hurts kind of really lost them that game because, he threw 3 interceptions. And then the Eagles couldn't really, get towards the field. And the Jets defense got to stop. Because Miami, sometimes like to play soft coverage where they play zone. And we know the Dolphins, really can't do that. And all of a sudden, the Eagles, you got to deal with because, the Eagles got to deal with people with their players on defense. The Eagles, they need to put up a good game plan for Tyreek Hill. They're going to have to figure out, how they're going to be able to slow down, how we're going to be able to contain Tua and contain Tyreek Hill. How they're going to do that. Because I think the Eagles' defense, because I think the only way the Eagles can win this game is that their defense is going to have to step up. And their offense is going to have to step up. Same thing with the Dolphins. They're going to win this game. They're going to have to, step up on offense and on defense. Because I feel like they rely on stopping the run. Because they really can't stop the run that good and they can't stop the pass. That's what the issue is. It's just the defense isn't as good. But even though it's been playing really well, I don't think the defense is great. So obviously, if the game was I think this game should be a fun game to watch. I think it could go back and forth type of game. I think it will be a high scoring game. I think this game right here is going to be super close and competitive. But I'm going to roll with the home team, Philly, to get back on track this week. I think the Philly wins this game because the Philly's at home, better quarterback. They're at home. And all of a sudden, I just think the Eagles' defense have a better defense. Especially they're getting healthier. I just think their defense can win this game. Because, they have the pass rush to get after Tua. And they'll find a way to stop the run. Because the Dolphins don't really have much of a run game. And they have the secondary. They have the corners to cover Hill and Waddle. Because they need to find a way to shut down Tyreek Hill. Because if they don't do that, then Tyreek Hill is just going to torch them. That's all I'm going to say. Tua's going to make some big plays and all that. So, yeah. And I think Jalen Hurts can do enough to move the ball, especially against a bad defense like the Dolphins, where, Hurts can extend plays. He can run. He can scramble. And I think AJ Brown and I just think the Dolphins have some injuries. You got too many injuries on defense to rely upon because Howard's questionable to play, and we know Ramsey isn't going to play this week because he's staying on IR. So I just kind of feel like that, the injured secondary for the Dolphins will be no match for Devonta Smith and AJ Brown. So I think those guys are going to go off. And the Eagles are going to run the ball in this game because they've been starting to run the ball really well. And I feel like Goddard's probably going to go off. He's going to win this matchup against Holland and the Dolphins secondary. So, yeah. Which this game is going to be the best game. This game is the best game of the week. It should be a fun game to watch. But I got the Eagles to win this game. I'll probably take the Eagles to cover. So yeah, it should be a high scoring game or a back and forth contest. This is a shootout. So yeah. So basically, I'm probably gonna say the Eagles win like 34-30, something like that. Like more like a 4-point game. So yeah. Now the one thing is, I think the Dolphins, because the one thing is that I kind of really thought that the Dolphins looked pretty poor against the Panthers in that first half. In the first early in that game, because they do that against the Eagles, they're probably not going to be able to come back against the Eagles. It's like the same thing when they play against the Niners and the Chargers. Like if they look pretty poor against the Niners and like they look pretty because they wasn't able to come back because they looked pretty poor the whole game. So yeah, so I think the Eagles. So I don't really know because if the Eagles get up early, they could definitely blow the Dolphins out. That's what I'm trying to say. But I don't think it's gonna be a blowout though. So yeah, I think the Eagles win this game, and I think they cover. Should be a fun game to watch. Two of the Bama boys playing against each other. All right, then last game, Monday Night Football, we have San Francisco 49ers versus Minnesota Vikings. San Fran's favorite at 6.5. Now I heard the news that Deebo Samuel's going to be out for the next two games, which I think the Niners offense got to step up in this game. And we know the Vikings, they're coming off winning against the Bears. I thought they played really well against the Bears. I mean, they were very aggressive. Brian Flores did a good job being aggressive on defense, especially offensively. They were like really poor and all that. Well, obviously this game can go either way, but at the same time, I'm taking the Niners to win this game. The Niners are the more complete team, better coaching staff. I mean, they got more to play for, and the Vikings don't. So, yeah, and the Niners got the better defense. I mean, I just think their defense is going to give the Vikings offense some issues and give Kirk Cousins some issues because they have the pass rush to get after the quarterback, get after Kirk, and they're really good at stopping the run as well. Which they should have at least beat the Browns last week, but they didn't because they missed a game-winning field goal. Because we know the Niners, they're going to be angry, they're frustrated because of that loss, but I think they're going to win this game here because they're just more talented. And I just kind of really feel like that, Brandon Ayuk is playing really good. I just feel like the Niners offense is going to move the ball in this game against a defense that's not good, which is against a bad defense like the Vikings. Because the Vikings, the personnel is not there and all for a sudden for defense. The offense is pretty fine. We know Justin Jefferson is going to be out for the next 4 games due to a hamstring injury, which that could be a huge blow to that passing offense. I think the Niners defense is going to step up this game. Like their pass defense is going to have to play better because I thought Brock Purdy, looked really, really bad against the Browns. Brock Purdy didn't really play as good, but I think he's going to play better in this game. So, yeah. So yeah, I think the Niners, because I think the offense, they're going to move the ball, and all of a sudden, if CMC plays, that'll be awesome. But I don't know if he's playing. I think he's going to this week. But even if CMC doesn't play, I still think they can run the ball. So, yeah, in Minnesota, they can run the ball a little bit, but not much. I think the Niners have a better running game than them because I think they can run the ball better than the Vikings. So yeah, and they have the secondary, which I think they'll find their matchups against the Vikings' weapons on offense. They're gonna find their matches in the secondary as well. So yeah, so I think the Niners win, but give me the 6.5 points with the Vikings. I don't know if I'm gonna take Minnesota to cover because they covered the game last week, and so we know San Fran kind of cover. So I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna say the Niners win. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and just take the Niners both ways. I'm probably gonna take the Niners to win and cover. I'm gonna say they put up 30 this time. I'm gonna say like 30-24, something like that. So yeah, I got the Niners to win and the Niners to cover. All right, guys, those are all my week 7 picks for this week. Hope you guys enjoy watching, and be sure and don't forget, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comments section below what you guys think. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm crazy? Just let me know in the comments section below who you think is going to win week 7. Well, this is Emmanuel Jones, very big fan. Don't forget to put the thumbs up to like the video if you can. And if you don't like the video, just put the thumbs down. So anyway, this is Emmanuel Jones, big fan. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more options as well. So yeah. But by the way, this is Emmanuel Jones, big fan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later, and peace.